What's up, film fans? Epic Film Guy Nick here at the studio, wrapping up a busy night of reviews for me. This time I'm going to check in with my Whovians and Mummy on the Orient Express, the latest episode of Doctor Who. And Season 8 for me has really taken off and become pretty enjoyable. Of course, we still don't know what the ultimate end game is going to be. I'm looking for the heaven thing and that, creepy lady or whatever to factor into who Gus was, whoever programmed the Orient Express. Might I also say that sometimes these episodes of Doctor Who, they just do these really quirky things just so they can have a period setting. Like, they did that Christmas special with the Titanic in space. In this very, very similar premise to that with the Orient Express in space. Just so they can, have a different type of set and pluck some other piece of history out without, constantly relying on the time travel stuff or just kind of putting a spin on it. Hey, whatever. But it gave us short-haired Clara in a flapper dress, which I want to hug the costume designer for that episode and never let him go, honestly. Because she looked spectacular. But overall, this episode I was a big fan of. It's really, really improved over the course of Season 8 for me. Of course, last week's episode I was a huge fan of. This one as well. I think Clara's kind of coming around to... I really think in this episode is where she really lets go of this idea that she had of the Doctor from Smith, and has really accepted Capaldi's Doctor for the character that he is and is going to be. I continue to love his attitude. I continue to love his portrayal, where he's very, very blasé about everything. I don't want to say he doesn't care, because I think in his own way he cares, but I think the Doctor cares more about solving the riddle, and I think the Doctor cares more about solving the puzzle and trying to, stop it. He's not as worried about the little things, and I hate to, call, people dying a little thing. I hate to isolate it like that, but in the Doctor's worldview, in the frame of view he has, that's really what it is. That's really what, one human being is, or whatever. He's trying to stop this whole thing from happening before everybody dies. He's trying to save the whole world before everybody dies. So on and so forth. And I think Capaldi's Doctor really encapsulates that, because he's just got that attitude where he just brushes that to the side. Maybe, he's been alive for some 2,000 plus years. He himself, because of his regenerations, has just avoided or cheated death so many different times that maybe he just doesn't have, a connection or understanding with death as an experience anymore. So maybe that's something we've got coming. Not that the Doctor's going to die or something like that. But, maybe that's something that we have coming that'll help to ground Capaldi a little bit more. Is maybe, a death upcoming in his future. So, it's interesting to speculate on that. But, again, I really, really liked the episode. I really liked, the Doctor lying to Clara and, to bring the girl up there, because the Doctor was like, no, I've got to be the one to take care of this. I've got to get in there. I've got to solve this. Fantastic. I was just a big fan of this episode. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series playing out. We've got, I don't even know how many episodes. I don't know how many this series run is scheduled to go. But, again, Season 8 just continues to improve. The chemistry between Coleman and Capaldi continues to improve. I really think they've hit their rhythm now where they know how they're going to fire back and forth. And I loved their playfulness in this episode while they still had that dramatic tension between them. Even if you kind of knew that Clara was going to stay with the Doctor one way or the other, she was going to figure out a way to do that. You knew it was going to happen, but I liked the way that it did happen, so it didn't feel too disingenuous or anything like that. But that's it for me. like I said, I was really a big fan of this episode. I want to know what you thought, and I want to get into a discussion about this. I know I got friends out there that watch this. So, jump in here in the comments. Let's get a discussion going back and forth. What do you think of Capaldi's doctor, the way that he's evolved? What do you think specifically of the way he, says it at the end to Clara? She says something like him, like, you pretend that you don't care, or something like that, and he, looks at her and kind of almost coldly goes, is that what you need to feel better about me? Is that what you need to believe to feel better about me? To be 100% honest, I don't think Capaldi's doctor cares. One life in the scheme of things to him, his doctor has almost become sort of detached. And I want to know what everybody else thinks, so let us know. Join the discussion, and we'll see you next week.